guys, today we are going to talk about St. Lucia. St. Lucia is a beautiful small island in the Lesser Antilles. It really exceeded my expectation. It is so small but so fun, so much things to do. St. Lucia is actually 24 miles long and 14 miles wide. So very small. But to get from point A to point B, it's difficult because the island is so hilly. It's either you're going up a hill or you're going down a hill. Always a hill there. And I thought I knew Creole, but St. Lucia Creole is very different. I was amazed by their Creole because I get to understand that the Creole is a mixture of English and French. So when they're talking, it's difficult to understand. So I have five things that if you go to St. Lucia, you must do. These are the 5 things. But the last one, I am amazed. When I was making the itinerary, I didn't think that this would be the highlight of my trip. So this activity was the highlight of my trip. You need to watch it all to see what that is. I was surprised. It was actually fun. So let's get into it. So number 1, this is the first thing that you must do if you go to St. Lucia. This is called Jump Up. This is a street party in Gros Islet. So Gros Islet is a small fishing village in the north of the island, all the way to the end. So it's like the last point of the island. It's on the northwest side of the island. So this is where you have a street dance with locals and tourists mixing in the street, dancing and liming. They are selling food, fried fish, steamed fish, roast fish, all types of fish. And of course you have jerk chicken, jerk pork, jerk everything. And their famous rum punch. So this rum punch is not any ordinary rum punch. It has a lot of spices in it and also some bitter things. But the rum is very, very strong. And the only time this street dance is not held is on Good Friday. And of course the other day when COVID hit. So it's a very good experience. Everyone is friendly. Everyone is just going about their business. You had more tourists there than locals because the locals that were there, they are basically selling their produce. So you have craft vendors and bars, everything. Next place, this place is called Pigeon Island. So Pigeon Island is a little island. It wasn't connected to St. Lucia, but they joined it with a narrow strip of land that they built, artificially connected together. Pigeon Island served as a lookout spot for the English. So it's similar to Port Royal in Jamaica. So they use that as a point to see if any French ship is going to attack the island. So it was more like a fort. And on that island, the fort is called Fort Rodney. It is a beautiful view at the top, but to get there, it's a bit difficult. It really questioned my fitness level because I thought I was fit, but hiking up those hills, it really took a toll on me. But the view at the top is beautiful. And actually, that area also was used by the Americans in World War II. Also, they use it as a base to go and search for submarines. To get in Pigeon Island, it's just going to set you about just $10 US. That's the entrance fee. And when you pay that entrance fee, you can actually use it for as long as you're there. So you can go and you can leave and go back because when you're leaving, they're going to stamp it. But what I didn't do was to reserve. When you don't reserve the tour, you have to do it on your own. But you can reserve it and get a guided tour, which I wish I knew because I would rather that. Guided tours are always more informative, but it was good just the same. So if you are going there, I'd encourage you to do a guided tour, so make the reservation before. After your tour is done at Pigeon Island, there is a beach right beside Pigeon Island with bars and restaurants just the same. And I tell you, you're going to need those bars and restaurants when you're done because you're going to be tired. So you can go there and get 2 Piton beers or your favorite drink after the tour. But it's a good experience. I would encourage everyone to go. Ensure that you wear comfortable footwear because it's a hike. So Pigeon Island National Park. Places in St. Lucia, they have French names because you know the French influence on the island is strong. So Sulphur is a town located on the volcano. So the Sulphur volcano, that's where the town is basically. So that town is basically sitting on a volcano. The volcano is dormant, but when you go there, you can smell the sulfur and you can also see the steam coming out. And this tour, it was a guided tour, which I like, very informative. I am going to upload that video of the tour of the volcano, but this is very informative. To get inside the tour, it is quite easy. You don't have to make reservation. You can just turn up and you have the option of just going to the mud bath or just view the volcano. But there is a combo. So you can do the mud, but the mud bath is probably the most interesting part of that tour, to actually to go inside the sulfur and bathe and basically rub the mud all over your body. And those people in St. Lucia, they are finessers because they said that if you go in the mud, you are going to look 10 years younger and feel 10 years younger. I'm still waiting on that. I don't feel any difference or look any different, but that's what they say. But it was a cool experience. The water is very warm and it was actually a rainy day. And they said because it rained, it basically cool it down because water from in the mountain come down and cool it. But normally on a sunny day, it's even warmer. So I can just imagine how warm it would be on that. So you can look at the price sheet on the screen now. But this was very interesting to actually be so close to a volcano. And they used to allow visitors to go on the volcano, but the earth become unstable. So they stopped doing that. So it's basically fence, but you can go very close. And there's a story about a guy called Gabriel who fell into one of the craters and got burned severely. So it's very interesting. I'm going to upload that video. So he got burned from his feet all the way up to his waist. So you know where he got burnt also. But the tour guide said he was able to reproduce after that. So God is good there. But that's interesting. I'm going to upload that video, so look out for that video also. The fourth thing you should do if you are in St. Lucia is, of course, visit the capital, Castries. So Castries is the capital of St. Lucia. And if you go to any country, if you want to analyze the country and see how the people are doing, it's always best to go to the capital. And Castries is no different. So when I went to Castries, I observed and I realized these people, they are basically happy. And it seems like they just keep partying, because I went there on a Thursday and all the bars and the roads were filled. And most people were drinking chicken jerking on the roadside. It was a buzz of activity. It gave me a downtown Kingston vibe. So if you are in Castries, of course you have to go to the market, because in the market you can feel the pulse of the people. So realize that in the market we have people selling their crafts just the same, people selling herbal remedies, People selling fruits, so all the fruits you can think of, the tropical fruits, they are there. But some of the fruits, they have different name. I saw guinea and said guinea. The guy said aki. So we were having a chat and he's saying that, oh, so aki as we know it in Jamaica, they call it Jamaican aki and call guinea aki. Don't make much sense, but we'll work with it. And they also call it shinep. That is another name for guinea, shinep. So some countries in the Lesser Antilles call it shinep. So that was interesting for me too. And the highlight of my trip, which I didn't know would be the highlight, is visiting the chocolate factory. This tour was very interesting. I learned a lot. One thing I didn't know, and I said I should have known, is that cocoa butter comes from the same cocoa plant that chocolate is made from. I didn't know that. But it was very interesting. And the tour guide was actually a Jamaican. She's living there for 5 years now. When I went there, she heard the accent, she said Jamaica, and I said yes. And actually, to go there, you have to make a reservation if you want to do the chocolate tour. But if you just want to go and buy chocolate, you can just turn up. So when I went there, I didn't have a reservation. But I spoke to her, you know, Jamaican to Jamaican. She gave me a blind and we did the tour. And making mine, I put too much salt in mine, so mine was a bit salt. But at the end of the day, it gave me pride knowing that I made my own chocolate. So if I go back, I'll put less salt. But it was a wonderful experience. The tour was about $68. So this factory is located between Sulphur and Ancillary. Hope I'm getting the pronunciation right. So it's right between those two towns. No trip to St. Lucia is complete without a visit to the Pitons. So the Pitons is their highest mountains, Gros Pitons and Petit Pitons. So it's two separate peaks, and Pitons is peak in French, and Gros is like big piton or large, and Petit is small. So most of the places there are French names. I didn't get a chance to go to these mountains because it was raining most of the time I was there, and the day we planned to go, it almost rained for the entire day, and it's in the mountain, you know, and lightning, so I decided not to go. So definitely going there again, I'll have to visit the Pitons, and I heard the views there are beautiful. And the Pitons is everywhere there. Everywhere you'll see drawing of the Pitons and their souvenir, you'll see those peaks. And even the flag. The flag is a representation of the two mountains. And they have a bear there. Synonymous to a red striped bear. It's like their national bear that is called Pitons. I was doing like, when I just went there, I was doing like 3 per day, 4 per day. It has a taste like light beer, you know, nothing too heavy as our red stripe beer, but it's cool and refreshing though. So there you have it, guys. Tell me what's your favorite thing you do in St. Lucia. My favorite was actually the chocolate factory. By watching the video, tell me what your favorite, what you think would be your favorite. And look out for other videos. I have full videos on the chocolate factory, the Sulphur Spring, and also the jump up street dance in Gros Islet, and also the Castries visit. We have videos for in the market and all of that. So comment in the comment section, tell me which thing is your favorite.